So Xiaomi hasn't exactly been slacking off so far in 2026, releasing quite a few budget-friendly smartphones. In fact, if it launches anymore, we'll have enough to play giant Jenga. Now, I've already done a comparison of the Redmi Note 15 smartphone side by side, but if you're a more demanding user, you want a bit more grunt out of your next blower, well, the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus is the one for you at a slightly stiffer price of just over 400 British quids. Now, I've had my SIM slipped inside of the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G these past few days, giving it a thorough see into Uncle Spurt style. This is my full review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G is, hey, yet another whopping great 6.83-inch smartphone. It certainly feels the most premium of the Redmi Note 15 series, which is apt because it's the most expensive. It's not quite as curvy as the regular Redmi Note 15, but that screen does slightly slope away at all four sides. And you've also got a slightly curved rear end as well, which makes for more comfortable hand feel. Now, as you can see, that screen pretty much entirely fills the front end of the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus. Very skinny bezels on all sides, quite symmetrical finish. Unfortunately, Xiaomi has stuck with a plastic frame for the Pro Plus, which does cheapen the overall look and feel. But hey, all is forgiven when you flip this phone over and reveal that lovably strokeable rear end. You've got a leather style finish here, which I absolutely love. Nice textured, soft touch finish. Available in 3 different colors, and I very much love this mocha brown model. Got a good bit of grip here and just about enough camera bump action to operate as a finger shelf when you are working this thing one-handed. Although that camera certainly doesn't poke too far out of the back end of this phone, so not too much added girth. No worries if you are a destroyer of smartphones, because the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G is a bit of a tough nut. In fact, I'd say it's harder than Jason Momoa wearing a concrete girdle. That front end is apparently constructed from the highly shatter-resistant Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Apparently this smartphone has been drop tested up to 2.5 meters, so you don't need to worry too much about slapping on a f***ing mouse case. You've also got a pre-installed screen protector slathered on there to further avoid irritations like scratches. And this phone is IP68 and 69 dust, water and spurt resistant. So overall, looks pretty interesting, feels great, and it isn't a sissy. Huzzah! Now, on the security side, it's pretty standard stuff for this price point. You've got an in-display optical fingerprint sensor, not a full-on ultrasonic effort. This certainly does the job just fine. I'd have rather it was positioned slightly further up the display, because you do have to sort of reach all the way down to practically the bottom to use it, but it is incredibly responsive. Even when my hands are rather moist or quite mucky, it doesn't seem to bugger up very often at all. And you also got a pretty reliable bit of face unlock action to back it up. Unfortunately, I'm not quite so enamored with the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus on the software side, because despite being the most expensive of these blowers, it's still stuck on old HyperOS version 2, on top of creaky old Android 15. And while Xiaomi is rather nicely guaranteeing 4 OS upgrades with the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus, of course one of those upgrades will be basically wasted getting this thing up to date on HyperOS version 3. But hey ho, here in Blighty and across Europe, you can also enjoy 6 guaranteed years of security patching. Got a choice of 256 or 512 gigs of storage, although a big old chunk of that will be taken up with crapware when you first boot up this bloody thing. All of the usual offenders, pretty much this entire top row in fact, is just bloody crapware. AliExpress, Temu, Amazon shenanigans. And my nemesis, of course, booking.twatting.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, yada yada, bunch of crap games you'll probably never play. So you want to set aside half a week to go through and get rid of all this bollocks. Thankfully it's fairly straightforward. And you may not have any micro SD support to expand that storage, but you do have a good bit of eSIM action, which isn't found on many smartphones around the sort of budgety mid-range asking price. That's great news if you do travel. You've also got support for Xiaomi offline communication, which allows you to communicate with other people with a Xiaomi smartphone that also has this feature, even if there's bugger all mobile signal, because it uses Bluetooth to communicate. It's an incredibly niche feature and one that I surprisingly haven't tested. And as always, HyperOS is highly customizable. You can tweak pretty much everything going on this device. Although frustratingly, once again, despite this being the most premium of the Redmi Note 15 series, you don't have a proper always-on display. You can only get it to show up for a measly 10 seconds after tapping the bloody thing, at which point it then buggers off again. And of course, yes, you've got the usual obligatory wheelbarrow load of AI stuff crammed on here, whether you wanted it or not. But anyway, I've done a full in-depth video all about HyperOS. You can go check that out for a squint at some of the best features. And here's hoping we're not waiting too ruddy long for a bit of HyperOS 3 action. Now, I do rather adore that almighty 6.83-inch AMOLED display, which is ideal for browsing your photos, kicking back with some movie streaming on the fly, a bit of gaming, all that good stuff. There might be a big old bugger, but the crispy 2772 by 1280 pixel resolution keeps everything sharp enough so you can see all that nice fine detail in your pics. Now, if you are into your movies as well, great news, you've got HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision streaming support in services such as Netflix, which is absolutely cracking for this price point. The screen is easily bright enough to see outdoors, although admittedly I have been testing it out in winter time in the UK, so yeah. The refresh rate maxes out at 120 Hz. It's not LTPO tech, of course, only drops as low as 60 Hz. And while HyperOS is quite a heavy launcher, so it can feel a little bit sludgy at times, luckily the screen perfectly responsive, all of your apps feel silky smooth. And while there is that slight bit of curvature at the edges of the display, thankfully I had bugger all issues with the responsiveness even when I was clutching this phone super tight over my head like so while reclining on the sofa or on the floor because my knees once again buckled. You've also got plenty of eye comfort shenanigans slapped on here for the low light evening viewing and 3840Hz PWM dimming if you are a bit more sensitive to that OLED flicker. I found that the stereo speaker setup here on the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G was pretty decent too. It is exceptionally loud, if not particularly bassy. So, fine for a bit of YouTube or Disney Plus or whatever, but I'd highly recommend a bit of headphone action if you are going to be enjoying some music. You got full Dolby Atmos support, high-res audio, all that good stuff. And I experienced zero woes while streaming to a pair of headphones, even when out and about in exceptionally busy central London areas. But oh yeah, if you were hoping to find a headphone port on this thing, well, you're out of luck. Now, powering the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus is that dependable mid-range darling Qualcomm Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. Now, it's backed here in my review model by 12 gigs of RAM. These past few days I've found the everyday running's been fine. As I say, HyperOS is quite a heavy launcher, so you'll see the occasional pause here and there. Occasionally an app can judder a wee bit, but overall not bad. And also, for any gamers out there, well, this is by far the best of the Redmi Note 15 blowers. All of these budget handsets can play optimized titles like Call of Duty, but when it comes to unwieldy, clunky behemoths like Wuthering Waves, well, only the Pro Plus can truly do it justice and maintain a fairly reliable 30 FPS frame rate. That is as long as you don't try doing anything mental like boosting the graphics settings up. And in even better news, the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus doesn't get more than slightly warm after a full hour or two of gaming, so that performance doesn't show any obvious dips over time. The screen is perfectly responsive to all of your frantic prods and jabs, and you've got that HyperOS dedicated game turbo mode on board, packed with some pretty great features to help keep your focus on the game, record the action, etc, etc. I've had no complaints in other areas as far as performance is concerned. The connectivity's been absolutely fine. It only comes in a 5G flavour, certainly here in Blighty. And the Wi-Fi has been perfectly well behaved as well. And it's also impossible to complain about the battery life on this bad boy, because the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G sports a 6,500 mAh battery. Not as big as some rivals, true, but I found that from a full charge of this thing, you'll comfortably get a weekend of use, as long as you don't go completely crazy. I count myself as quite a demanding user. Of course, I have to test these smartphones out pretty thoroughly, so I'm on them quite a lot. But even with a lot of Spotify streaming in the background, plenty of web browsing, messaging, a bit of camera play, a bit of video chatting and all of that, I still stumble to bed most days with around sort of 40 to 45% charge remaining. That's with like a solid 6 hours of screen on time plus that background use. So as I say, if you're a bit more careful, a bit more cautious with it, you can get through a full weekend if you need to. Whereas on the flip side, if you just want to play Wuthering waves absolutely non-stop without any breaks whatsoever, well, you'll still enjoy around 6.5 hours of gaming action on the regular graphics settings, which is a really bloody good effort. And 100-watt wired charging support means it won't take too long to juice back up again, even if it is fully drained, although there is sod all wireless charging support. So hey kiddies, why don't we round up this spiffing Xiaomi Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G review with a bit of a squint at the camera tech. May look like there's 4 of the buggers slapped on the back there, but there's really only 2. Cheeky. That 200 meg main shooter uses a 1/1.4 inch sensor, pretty big for a mid-ranger. Has got optical image stabilization built in, and is backed by a pretty basic cruddy 8 megapixel ultra wide. You got all the usual tools and mods stuffed on here, so you can shoot at the full 200 megapixels if you want to, as long as the lighting isn't CAC. Got a portrait mode, of course, and a good old pro mode. Fairly comprehensive one, which allows you to fiddle around with all kinds of different tools and settings, and also has the ability to shoot in RAW. I just stuck with the auto mode for my testing, and the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G is a respectable everyday shooter. You can expect reasonably natural tones, and this phone can cope with slightly dodgy contrast, no worries. Plus, of course, you've got that sizable sensor, so softer light is handled dependably well. In the evenings, this phone will still spaff out pics with a pleasing amount of detail, not too much noise, and again a fair bit of colour as well. However, gotta say I did experience the occasional focus fail here on the Redmi, especially when it came to living subjects. Now, speaking of living subjects, if you are trying to snap your kid or your pet or whatever, you do have this motion capture mode which you can toggle on and off. But sadly, if your subjects won't reliably pose for you, it doesn't really do much to help, because any kind of motion usually still results in a bin-worthy pic. For your home movie needs, the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus can capture up to 4K resolution footage at 30 frames per second. If you want to bump up to 60 FPS, you'll have to knock it down to Full HD resolution. But I found that this smartphone is absolutely fine again for your basic home movies or vlogging extravaganzas. Stabilization is decent even when you bump up the resolution to Ultra HD, and the audio pickup's reasonably clear as well, as long as it's not too blustery, it's not too much background bollockry. And last up, around the front end of the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G, you've got yourself a 32 megapixel selfie shooter, and again this is fine for your vlogging needs. It's got some pretty decent stabilization built in, just a shame that it's not 4K, so the detail levels are a little bit soft to say the least, especially when you get in those sort of lower light conditions. And there you have it, you lovely bugger. That's what this joyless northern prong reckons of the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G. As usual, Xiaomi has cranked out a pretty solid all-round mid-range smartphone with good enough performance to satisfy gamers, great battery life even for more demanding users, and the usual cracker bit of display tech, plenty of storage, etc, etc. It's just the software side that kind of lets it down despite the dedicated years of support. It's clunky old HyperOS, and it's not one of my favourite launches anyway. And also, if you are strongly obsessed with the photography side of things, I would highly recommend swapping instead to a Pixel 9a, maybe a Vivo V series smartphone, something a bit more capable when it comes to the optics. Anyway, that's my thinking. Anyway, it'd be great to hear your thoughts on the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus and the rest of the Redmi Note 15 series down below. I've done a full side-by-side comparison with the regular Note 15 and that Pro model, so if you want to hear more of me banging on about these blows, we'll go check that out. In the meantime, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.